Our journey begins in the peaceful Karnataka town of Gadag more than a century ago. A child born here on February 4, 1922, would go on to forever revolutionize the landscape of Indian classical music. Joshi Bhimsen. If you think that his path to fame in music was easy, you should think again. Bhimsen wasn't your typical kid. Little Joshi was obsessed with music while other children his age were busy with games, and not just any music. He was attracted to the sound of ragas, which are age-old tunes that are emotionally charged and meant to stir the spirit. For those who don't know, a raga is similar to a recipe for music. It's a particular set of notes that go up and down with its own set of rules and moods. Some ragas that are appropriate for mornings, evenings, and even specific seasons. Additionally, each raga is distinct. Much like a person with a personality, each one has the power to evoke strong feelings in listeners and transport them to a realm beyond the ordinary. Even as a young kid, little Bhimsen felt the raga's power. He would spend hours fascinated with recordings of great vocalists like Abdul Karim Khan. He got moved by the music. So moved, in fact, that he made the bold decision to embark on an adventure. Bhimsen fled his home at the age of 11. Yes, you heard right. He chose to look for a guru on his own since he was so keen to learn music. Imagine his poor family in a state of panic, looking everywhere for their kid while Bhimsen was out visiting towns like Pune, Gwalior, and even Lucknow, sleeping anywhere he could find a corner, including train stations and temples. He had a strong desire to learn, but no money or map. According to others, he even had a few funny accidents along the way. When people saw this young child strolling by himself, they assumed he was lost. Actually, he was searching for his voice, which was the greatest mission of his life. And he did. After years of seeking, he finally found his mentor, Pandit Bhimsen Joshi, a well-known vocalist of the Karana Gharana, a musical tradition renowned for its beautiful melodies and emotional intensity. In addition to learning how to sing, Bhimsen also learned how to feel every note, dive into each raga, and extract its essence under the supervision of his teacher. The training was also difficult. Hours would pass while he practiced, sometimes until his voice became hoarse. There was seriousness in the Karana Gharana. Bhimsen, however, was committed. He put all of his heart and soul into every performance as he got more mature. Before long, people began to notice this young singer with a voice so powerful it could fill an entire hall without a microphone. However, Joshi had a taste for action. In addition to being a dedicated musician, he had a reputation for being obsessed with speed and enjoyed fast cars. His love of fast cars was evident in his music, as his friends joked that he was a master of taans or quick melodic runs and could rattle off notes at a breathtaking speed. The police officers, who weren't as impressed by his love of speed, would frequently get him into problems. However, Bhimsen just couldn't help himself. When he liked something, he went all in. And speaking of things he loved, Bhimsen was a renowned foodie. He loved spicy North Karnataka food, particularly spicy curries and jolada roti. He always made it a point to eat his favorite foods at local restaurants when on tour. Friends and fellow musicians knew that when Bhimsen was around, food would be an experience in itself. Over the years, he established himself as an important fixture at the Sawai Gandarva Music Festival, which he assisted in planning each year in honor of his cherished mentor. With some of the most well-known musicians and enthusiastic audiences from all across country, this Pune-based festival swiftly rose to prominence as a beloved institution in Indian classical music. In anticipation of the enchantment that Bhimsen Joshi would bring to the stage, people would come from all over India. His performances at the festival were legendary. With a voice so rich, expressive, and intensely emotional, Bhimsen had a special gift to bring each raga to life, giving listeners a sense of spiritual connection to the music. His renditions could move people to tears, filling them with joy, nostalgia, and awe. He was a shining star at the festival, and many people thought he encapsulated the essence of Indian classical music because of the strength of his voice and the intensity of his devotion to every note. As his fame grew, so did the festival's renown. It was widely assumed that the Sawai Gandarva Festival was called in honor of Bhimsen. He was, after all, its most beloved performer. The artist audiences associated with the festival's spirit and energy. People often assumed Sawai Gandarva was a title for Bhimsen, given how synonymous he had become with its legacy. Joshi had never forgotten the depth of musical knowledge his master had taught him, or the sacrifices he had made. In order to preserve Sawai Gandarva's legacy and pay tribute to the custom that had influenced him, Bhimsen named the event after his mentor. It was obvious to those who knew him that Bhimsen never desired glory or recognition for himself. He was always quick to clarify, sometimes with a wry smile, saying, "The festival belongs to my guru, not to me." This explanation frequently served as a sobering reminder of his deep respect for his teacher, demonstrating that despite his rise to fame, he was still, in his own words, just a student at his guru's feet. Joshi has a reputation for choosing a raga at the last minute. He also joked that he wanted to keep the suspense alive, even for himself, so he would rather not make a decision in advance. He never took himself too seriously, even though he was famous. The idea of performing after Bhimsen's show once made a new musician hesitant to do so after an exhausting recital. However, Bhimsen smirked and remarked, "Gana banao, don't worry, just make some music."
Jo bhaje Hari ko sada.
When Bhimsen starred in the patriotic song Mile Sur Mera Tumara, which celebrated India's unity in diversity, his fame reached new heights in the 1980s. His soulful voice opened the song, making him a household name. Even those who didn't understand classical music recognized him as that singer from Mile Sur.
Meanwhile, the country's highest civilian honor, the Bharat Ratna, was presented to one of India's leading classical musicians, Bhimsen Joshi. Here's our tribute to him.
Throughout his long career, Joshi has been honored with India's greatest accolades, including as the Sangeet Natak Akademi Award, the Padma Vibhushan, and the Bharat Ratna. His music endures to this day. When he sang a raga, it was as if time stood still, and the air filled with the essence of dawn, dusk, joy, sorrow, whatever the raga held within it. Pandit Bhimsen Joshi passed away on January 24, 2011 in Pune, Maharashtra, at the age of 88. His health had been in decline for some time, and he was admitted to a hospital for complications related to a gastrointestinal condition. Despite medical efforts, his condition worsened, and he succumbed to multiple organ failure. That's the magic he left us with, a tale of a youngster who fled his home to pursue his love, and a reminder of the richness and beauty of Indian classical music. And that, my friends, is the tale of Bhimsen Joshi, the maestro who sped through life with a voice that stopped the world in its tracks. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more captivating stories about legendary musicians who have shaped music and inspired generations. Until next time, keep the music alive.